Debbie is here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Play in the Field, a Bachelor podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Field, the sports anchor here at WABC in New York City. Longtime Bachelor fan, longtime host of this very program. We are in Season 6, hard to believe, of Playing the Field. Soon coming to an end, Season 6 of Playing the Field. Just the season, not the podcast.
You just gave me a
just
little
so
heart
we're
attack.
clear, yeah, no updates on the future of this podcast. From as far as I know, we've been renewed for Season 7. So
Forever.
that is good, yes. We are happy about that. We are happy to have our two Bachelor co-hosts here with me, Jen Matarese, our Bachelor insider for here at WABC in New York City, and our Bachelor expert, Gina Sirico, out at KABC, our sister station in Los Angeles. And ladies, without further ado, can we get a drum roll, please, Jen? There we go. We have Debbie from Mel's season on the podcast, and we can't thank her enough for taking some time out of her busy day. Debbie joining us from Denver, Colorado, one of my favorite cities in the country, and she comes to us from there today. And we want to ask you, Debbie, first and foremost, thanks for being here. Secondly, watching Mel's season back thus far as a viewer like the rest of us, what has jumped out to you the most in what you've seen?
Oh my gosh, what a question. So
Right.
much has jumped out. Of course, there are certain things that I wish I would have done differently. I think, there's been some cringy moments for me, but for the most part, I feel very happy with, how I was portrayed, at least. And, that I had such a great connection with Mel and, of course, all the beautiful ladies.
I mean, you have been a fan favorite from the very beginning. So when you say cringy, can you give us an example of what one of those cringy moments might have been that you watch back?
And you're in a safe space,
yeah.
Debbie. You're in a safe space on this podcast, so feel free.
Yeah. The first cringy moment was when they read the card and I got the one-on-one date. I mean, how sad and pathetic was I to be crying so much?
Oh.
But honestly, it just came as such a shock to me, truly. And you're just so wound up, and the emotions are all building, and, people don't understand, like, you're in this bubble, right? And anticipation. And I really thought for sure Roxanne was going to get it. So it was just so surprising. And it really just, I guess, emotionally just touched me, obviously, because it was so funny. When I look at my reaction, I'm like, get a hold of yourself, Debbie.
Well, we hope you don't have that reaction when you watch our podcast back. I have a very good feeling that will not be the case. Right, Gina?
No, definitely not. We're all friends. We're all among friends here. So take us inside the bubble, Debbie. Just take us inside the bubble of this experience of being in the mansion, and just what it was like for you, kind of like first going in and just meeting these ladies and how you bonded.
It was pretty extraordinary. I really had no idea what to expect. And initially, when you first walk into the mansion, it is a very surreal moment because it's so iconic. And, it was midnight by this time. By the time we got out of that limo, it was already midnight. And I was just so excited to meet the rest of the ladies. I was fortunate enough to be in the limo with Terry and her puppet and Alex, sassy Alex, and Lily, who was just lovely. And they just had me laughing the whole entire drive there. So that kind of eased my nerves. But walking into the mansion and seeing all those spectacular women was just an out of body, because I knew they were going to be spectacular, right? I just knew this going in, and I really hoped that it was going to be a bonding experience. I mean, we're older, we're wiser, we've been through so much in our lives, and we have much more wisdom than we did when we were younger. And it was immediate, like, sisterhood. I can't even explain it. It was so beautiful. And thank goodness, because, having their support through that experience was invaluable.
And listen, it's been a great watch for all of us. We can't stress enough how much we've enjoyed watching this season, especially with you being front and center for a good portion of it. I guess my question is, how long have you been a fan of the show? Or are you an old school fan going all the way back? and what initially led you, the whole process in terms of getting on the show to begin with?
I have been a fan all the way back from Trista and Ryan.
Oh.
I have been obsessed with the show. I have a couple friends that are also obsessed. So it was really fun to be able to have our, conversations and breakdowns after the episode. But honestly, when I saw the first Golden Bachelor, at first I thought this is just not going to fly, right? Who is going to want to watch a bunch of us old women, making out in a hot tub? I don't know, but I felt like when I watched it, it was so endearing, and I fell in love with those women and with Gary, and it just kind of gave me a renewed sense of hope. I thought, gosh, if these women could do it, maybe I could do that at some point. And honestly, trying all the apps and the matchmaking agencies out here in Denver, because I've been ready to find a relationship for a while now. And so when I saw the ad for the next Golden Bachelor, I thought, my gosh, why not? I've tried everything else. I have been on camera. I'm pretty comfortable on camera. I know I'm very adaptable. I can really fit into so many different situations. I also know that I'm a gal's gal. And so I thought, gosh, why not shake up my life and go on the biggest platform for dating in the world and give this a try.
And we're glad you did. And just to be clear, I don't think the ABC execs would have signed off on a bunch of women making out on the hot tub. I don't think they're ready for that for this season of the Golden Bachelor. Just want to put that out there.
Well, I have to ask, when you got out of the limo and you approached Mel and you met him for the first time, what were you thinking? And honestly, okay, if you had met him out in the wild, in the real world, do you think you would have felt the same way about him as strongly initially?
Absolutely, 100%. If I would have walked into, let's say, a restaurant or piano bar and he was sitting there, my eyes would have gone right for him. He's completely my type. And when I first saw him getting out of the limo, my first thought was, oh my goodness, he's even more handsome in person. And he just, his eyes are so beautiful. He has a striking presence, but yet a very calming presence, which surprised me. He just took my hands right away and he complimented me. And they didn't include everything that I said when I first met him, but it was cute. I said, I hope you pick me as your most valuable player. And, and I just had kind of initial butterflies, which is a good sign because I just don't find that, I get that way over meeting many men.
Same.
I was waiting to see how you were going to respond to
Gina's
that.
coming out with same on that one.
Gina she had that one queued up, ready to go.
Well, no, not ready to go. So Debbie, as you were kind of like, you lived your relationship with Mel on, on camera. As you've been watching it back, were you seeing things? Were you like kind of reevaluating how things were? How did you see it as it was portrayed on TV? Were you like, yes, this is exactly how it went? Were you feeling like maybe did you miss a sign from him? What were your thoughts as you've been watching it back?
Yeah, there's been a lot of different thoughts. Watching it back, I see pretty clearly now that he just didn't have that same connection with me. I know he really liked me. I kind of am bummed out they edited that out at Red Rocks. And they also took out we did yoga together with a bunch of people, and that was so fun. But, there was a moment where he said, I really like you. I like you a lot. And I felt that. And I regret, kind of talking about my feelings so soon. I got caught up in the moment. I definitely did. I was catching feelings for sure. And I was very attracted to him. And I thought he was very funny. And they didn't show that much of his sense of humor, which, I felt bad for him for that because, he had a great personality and he was really fun to be around. And, we had some great conversations they never showed, at the pool party. That's when we first kind of connected. And that's when I felt like, oh, maybe there is something here. Because listen, getting that last rose the first night, I thought I was going to have a heart attack first of all.
For sure, right?
And, I kept thinking, don't even tell me that I went through all of this to get on this show and I'm not even going to be able to get to know this guy or have this experience. It was, honestly, it was so nerve-wracking. But I think watching it back, again, they just take so many things out. So people didn't get to see like all of our conversation on that one-on-one date. And it was, really wonderful because he did open up and he did share quite a bit. And for some reason, they just showed me talking over him, which I wasn't doing. I mean, I was just, being myself. But I think overall, they just crammed so much in each episode that I think that was the most disappointing part, because there were so many other conversations that we had that I wish people would have seen.
About it on this podcast, how each episode is only an hour this season. We're typically used to 2-hour long Bachelor episodes in regular seasons. So it would have been nice to see more of those conversations kind of played out and maybe help us get to know not only you, but Mel and, a lot of what was transpiring on these dates. I guess, is it a fine line for you looking back at it? Because we talked about this on this podcast as well, that, you hadn't brought a guy home to meet your family and I think it was 14 years. So that was such a big deal for you. How do you walk the line of, this was a great experience for me, but maybe I regret going on the show because it didn't work out? Or maybe you have no regrets about this whole experience.
I have absolutely no regrets. I have gained so much from being on this show. I mean, first and foremost, I have gained all these amazing new friendships. And at this age, who can say that, and that we have these shared experiences, and it's really priceless. And I don't know, I think, I'm trying to think, I lost track. Ask me the question.
Happens
again.
to me all the time.
It happens to the best of us. So no regrets, but I mean, you brought him home, right? That was such a big deal for you. And at that point, did you think that you were going to be one of the final two when it was all said and done?
It was interesting because when I brought him home, our time at Red Rocks was really great. We went on a little hike, we did some yoga, but then we had this one-on-one serious conversation. And I was very torn if I wanted to share this information with Mel right before he was going to meet some of my family. But I also knew that it would help him understand why I've been single as long as I have. And so that was very, very, I had a lot of anxiety about that, but he handled it very well. He was so gracious. I could see how devastated he really was that I had to go through such a traumatic, painful experience. It is why I moved to Denver at 53 to start my life over again and just do all the healing work that I needed to do and put my energy into starting my fitness company. And then once I was healed through it and I was ready, like I said, the apps, everything just kind of led in disappointment and frustration. I found that either men were not emotionally ready or it wasn't the right fit for either of us, or they wanted a younger woman, at that point. And that was so frustrating. So I kind of just threw my hands up and gave up. But yeah, 14 years ago, I had brought the man I'd been seeing, who I was really in love with. and he met all of my family. I mean, Mel only met a small portion. I have a giant family. And, so after, he died, it was just, I don't know if that's ever going to happen for me. I really did kind of give up on that notion of ever getting married or, I just wanted a companion. I just want to find a life partner to, do life with. And I miss that. And the ironic thing, you guys, is I've always been the one in a relationship. I mean, from being very young, like in grade school, I had the first boyfriend. We had to start the school dances because, the guys are on one side of the room, the girls are on the other side of the room. And honestly, I thought that was my destiny. And when that didn't work out and I moved to Green Bay, I just was constantly dating, but nothing ever compared to that first love that I had experienced. It was so big, and the word love was not big enough to describe how I felt. And so when you have had that kind of love, it's hard to compromise that when you know what you're capable of. And it really was a blessing and a curse for me. But I also had to overcome a lot of trust issues due to some major betrayals in my life. So bringing Mel, who I just respected and adored and was so fond of, and I felt so proud. And, we had this natural connection, and I knew because he's from the Midwest, he was going to fit right in, which he did. And seeing my brother's reactions, oh my God, the highlight of this whole experience, I might even get teary-eyed now because my oldest brother, Ron, who just turned 80, who just grabbed me and he was crying and saying how proud he was of me and how happy he was for me. And oh my goodness. And my youngest brother, Steve, crying. And, I've seen my brothers cry maybe twice, and that's when our parents died. So, I mean, that alone is worth every single thing that I went through.
I don't think you should beat yourself up about, the fact that you think maybe you revealed too much too soon or your feelings too much too soon to Mel, because that's what the Bachelor show is all about.
Absolutely.
Is, quick,
absolutely.
You have to get the information out there. You only have a limited amount of time, especially in this season.
No question.
Do you want to wrap this up, Ryan, with the most important question that everyone wants to know?
Yeah, I have two real quick questions before we let you go, Debbie. Would you be the Golden Bachelorette if asked? Would you go on Bachelor in Paradise? Do you see a future for you in the Bachelor franchise?
Say yes.
Say yes. I would absolutely be the Golden Bachelorette.
Yes.
Listen, it would be very exciting and terrifying at the same time, but I feel ready and I feel my heart's open and I feel, why not? I just think it would be so exciting. Would I do Bachelor in Paradise? No. No way. I am not going to be living in a swimsuit on a beach. No.
I mean, it doesn't sound terrible if we're being honest.
And you look
great.
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't do it. No, I don't. That's not for me.
Well, speaking of the beach, two people are at the beach as we speak, as we wrap up Mel's season. Can you give us your prediction, how you think this is going to unfold, who he's going to pick between Cindy and Peg?
I love both of these women. They are so polar different, opposite, as you know, and they all bring different things out of Mel, and they're just both incredible women. I really don't know, but I have to say, because I watch the dates, obviously, I think where Mel is in his life right now and how Peg brings out the fun and the energy. And, I saw a different side of him with her. I would kind of lean towards Peg, but I also know he and Cindy have an amazing chemistry and connection. And she's one of the loveliest women I've ever met in my life. So I don't know.
I had a feeling you were going to give us a pick as you were explaining all of that.
so hard. I don't know.
Well, listen, you can see why Mel is so torn.
Together.
Yeah, we're all going to find out together. We can't wait. But listen, Debbie, thank you so much for taking time out today. It meant a lot to us for you to join us here on the podcast. We wish you nothing but the best in the future. And listen, we hope we have you back on Playing the Field when you're named the next Golden Bachelorette. How's that sound?
Thank you so much, you guys. It was so fun. I really enjoyed it.
I think we're her campaign managers.
You know what? We are happy to.
so.
Election day just ended, but we're ready to start the next campaign. How about that?
Bachelorette.
That
Let's-
makes me feel pretty
Gina and I are
good.
good lobbyists.
Absolutely.
Lobbyists
Trust
for
me,
you.
Debbie, they can
So,
be very
yes.
convincing, and they're very stubborn in their beliefs too, so they're going to be perfect for you.
I love it.
We're too Italians,
thank
we
you.
can't help it.
Thanks so much, Debbie. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Debbie. By the way, I do still have my cousin in New York, if that is ever of interest.
Hey.
Just saying, when you come to New York,
I told
when you
Gina
go to New York, you let me know.
gotta see it. He has to go on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
But also,
He's going to be one of the 23 Golden Bachelors. Well, listen, it's easy to see why she was one of our favorite people on this season. And I really hope she is the next Golden Bachelorette because I think Bachelor Nation would absolutely love it.
I think she's almost like the perfect combination of Peg and Cindy in a
Yeah,
way.
actually, that's a good point.
She brings the energy, she has the excitement, but she's also really heartfelt and carries herself so well. And just, I don't know, I just love her. She's perfect.
She really is. Gina, you get the final word on this one.
I agree with Jen. Everything that Jen just said. You know, we've been lobbying for her to be a Golden Bachelorette all season, so I feel like she would be great. I think she would do well, and I think she thinks the process can work. So that's important, and going into it. So I think she could be a great Bachelor.
And she says she has no regrets about her experience, which I'm very thankful to hear because I didn't know how heartbroken she was going to be. Obviously, it was a big deal, as we pointed out, for her to bring Mel to meet her family. So she's looking at all of this as a positive experience, which at the end of the day is all we can ask for. And not even she could pick who Mel is going to choose because it's tough. We're down to the wire. It's neck and neck. And frankly, watching it back, especially as a guy, I can see why Mel is confused or still maybe not confused, but maybe unsure of what he wants to do here at this point. So an exciting conclusion awaits.
There's no wrong choice.
There's no wrong choice. Exactly right, Gina. Two great ladies. There's no wrong choice. And you listening and watching, you made the right choice. And if you like our podcast, what do you need to do?
Like and follow us.
And follow
and
us.
Give us a rating while you're at it.
We like a rating. We like a comment. We like good feedback.
5 stars.
Only if it's positive, of course.
And we are not responsible for the contestants you don't like. That's
Yeah,
not
there
our
you
fault.
go. Listen, we're not on the production team. We don't choose those people. But we are happy.
Here to talk about that. Yes.
Yes, exactly right. We are happy you joined us for another great episode. For Jen and Gina, I'm Ryan. We'll see you next time on Playing the Field.